Many times when you have an internet outage, you may be asked to reset your modem, your router, or your switch. In an office environment, you generally will have all three items. In a home environment, you may only have the modem, which doubles as a router, and you may have your own router as well if you're doing wireless or if you want a different brand. I'm going to go through the steps on how to reboot these and get your internet back up. Many times when you're having an internet outage, you may be asked to reset your networking equipment. In an office environment, you most likely have three devices in your network. You have a modem from the internet service provider, a router, and a switch. When resetting your internet connection, you're going to want to start with the piece of equipment that's closest to the internet itself, and in this case it is the modem, and in most cases it will be. To reset the equipment, you just unplug the power cable, leave it for about 5 seconds, just to make sure it's completely powered off, and then plug the power cable back in and give it a few minutes to come back up before you move on to the other devices. After removing power and plugging it back in, you'll notice that not all of the lights are lit on the front. The only thing you'll see is power. We're waiting, in this particular instance, for the globe to turn blue, indicating that this modem now sees internet. Okay. It's been about a minute or so, and as you can see, the light is now blue, meaning that this modem is now seeing an internet connection. Your ISP can actually tell you what you should see on the front depending on the different equipment. Cable modems, I believe, most often will also have a globe. They'll have an upstream and a downstream as well, but in the case of Frontier, you're just looking for the globe to go blue on this particular modem, and then you know you have internet at this device. And in an office environment, you will most likely have a separate router to do your advanced routing features. That would be the next piece of equipment we need to reboot in this chain. And to do that, you do the same thing. You just remove power. And we'll give that about 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And then plug it back in. And once again, we're going to wait for the indicator lights to show that, in this case, port 0 is our internet. And that corresponds to port 0 on the back of this. And when that light turns on, that means it's seeing a connection to this modem. And with this particular router, there's a mode light that will let us know when it actually sees internet. One important thing to note when resetting your router is that there is a button on the back that says reset. You don't want to use that button, because what it's going to do is it's going to reset all of the configuration in that router. You may make your problems a lot worse. You generally don't want to push that unless you've been specifically asked to, or if you know how to configure the router from scratch, because once again it will completely default the router, and that's not what we want to do during an outage. So after a few minutes, your router will be online and you'll see the internet light indicating that it is connected to the modem. And at that point, we can move on to the switch. The switch is not very smart. It doesn't have a lot of software or anything in it. It's just a few chips. So rebooting it actually happens pretty fast compared to the router or the modem. So in this case, let's go ahead and unplug it, and you'll see the link lights have gone off. Give it 5 seconds or so and plug it in. And since there's not a lot to load, you'll see the lights are active, and within seconds most switches are ready to go. There are a few managed switches that actually do have software installed and operating system, and they will take 5 to 10 minutes to boot. So keep that in mind. At this point, if you still don't have internet, it may be time to contact an IT provider. You can always give us a call at 941-556-4460.